Make it 15,000 with pocket sixes or pocket fours. Which one is it?
Wow.
Over the years, Daniel Negreanu has pulled off some of the most ridiculous hand reads in poker history. Some were so precise, they felt scripted. Others saved him thousands. Let's look back at his absolute best.
Featured table where Daniel Negreanu is front and center. And Negreanu with Queen 10 offsuit. Raise it to 3,000. Over to Ryan McLean with pocket aces. He's another Canadian player. He's from Edmonton.
Maybe this is the Canadians' year to win the main event.
Ah, I guess.
I don't really want to, but I kind of have to.
Well, you didn't have to, Daniel.
These two Canadians to the flop. It is 5-4.
You know what I think he's got? Aces.
That is uncanny.
I think he's got 2 aces.
What do you do if you're McLean now?
Well, I'm not even sure McLean has aces, and we can
That's
see
what I
his
think,
cards.
McLean.
If Daniel is so sure he has aces, why did he reach for chips?
Ace!
Yeah, he made the call.
Give him an ace over there.
Turn card is a deuce. No help to Daniel. McLean checks this time.
You know, I think Daniel's talk has frozen McLean. Daniel talked his way into a free card.
Why would you check aces on the turn? That was such a strange play. You had a straight turn on everything.
If I'm McLean and he's got the best hand, I just want to crawl into a hole. It's like Daniel is flashing a spotlight in your face.
McLean checks it. Daniel checks it out. There you go.
Aces.
I told you I knew what he had. I had a queen.
Sometimes, Daniel doesn't need a big hand to make a big call. With almost no information, he puts the pieces together and somehow sniffs out a monster. Even against legends like Mike Sexton, Daniel's instincts don't waver. This time, he faces a massive river bet, but somehow, he knows exactly what he's up against.
Negreanu with Queen Deuce will make the call. The flop 5, 7, 6 rainbow. Sexton's kings keep Daniel in hot water. Daniel checks, and Sexton will slow play the kings to the turn. It's a deuce. Daniel pairs his card. A couple of more outs there for him.
Daniel's still far behind.
But he is going to bet it. 30,000 chips.
Sexton might have just a couple of high cards.
And Sexton's right behind him with the call. River card is another 5. Sexton gets the check mark with kings up. Then he checks it now. Mike Sexton with kings and 5s bets 50,000.
Yeah, Daniel's thinking, what can I beat? And, of course, what does he have?
You might have, like, kings, I guess. It's crazy.
He might.
2 kings?
That is unearthly.
I just want to see him.
Oh, he was going to pay for the information and make the call.
How scary is this guy?
You have kings?
How scary is this, really?
Yeah, I thought that's the only hand you could have was 2.
Reading hands isn't just about knowing what someone has, it's about knowing what they don't have. And when the story doesn't add up, Daniel isn't afraid to call with almost nothing.
He's in the big blind, and he decides that there's value enough to make the call, even with 10-8 offsuit.
Well, he does have 2 overcards, luckily for him.
They have.
Daniel Negreanu is definitely going to make a continuation bet here.
For Magnus to put him on the ace, he did bet
A small call. Card here.
Daniel gave him an iffy look. He wants to see a river card. Nothing for nobody.
Weird. Something doesn't feel right. I don't know. I'm so suspicious, to tell you the truth.
And if Daniel is suspicious, that means he's definitely considering a call here. Wouldn't be surprised at all, one of the great readers in poker, if he made this call. And he does. Correctly so.
Yeah, same idea. It was an all or nothing call.
Having an overpair usually means you're ahead, but Daniel doesn't just play the odds, he plays the player. And this time, he spots the danger before it's too late.
Him will call 1,600 more to him.
Jones calls another bet with 7 deuce.
4 to the flop. It is deuce, 4, 6. Antil got just what he was looking for, a set of 4s.
Very nice.
Picked up a pair of deuces. He puts in 28.
Bronx for a living, so he can be a little reckless, but are we kidding here?
Special with Negreanu after him. Daniel's going to raise it.
10,300?
10,300 more.
Yeah, 9.
Uncle.
Antil calls. Stuck folds.
That was a nice smooth call from Antil as Daniel item.
Got to tell Daniel something. Heads up, Negreanu and Antil. 8 of spades, no help for Daniel, who trails big time.
And Daniel slows down 8 cents.
At least. Antil checks also.
Antil will not let him know the strength of his hand.
Another 8 on the river. Antil earns the check mark. And he's got the full boat. Daniel Daniel checks again.
I got 15,000.
Make it 15,000 with pocket sixes or pocket fours. Which one is it?
Wow.
He's the best.
Pocket sixes or pocket fours, quick. Pocket sixes, pocket fours. Which one?
He'll break him.
His turn, I was just going to fold. I really was. I was just going to give it to him. I mean, he had to have sixes or fours, but... 15,000. There's a gazillion in there. I'm going to fold the second best hand.
He's right.
Daniel is the only player at the table, Lon, who has access to the other player's hole cards.
Sometimes the cards betray you, but Daniel doesn't just rely on the board. Even after getting counterfeited, he senses something's off and turns the tables on Foxen.
And Foxen's 8 high is best here.
Thinking that she needs to bluff at this one.
10 seconds. 550? 550.
All in?
All in. Fold. Nice hand.
Thanks.
Negreanu comes with a
don't know if
check
50 is
raise
on there.
all in.
Wow.
Reading hands isn't just about calling. Sometimes it's about knowing when to apply pressure. Against Scott Siver, Daniel fires every street on a board that only gets scarier.
Seaver keeps it going, he calls.
Seaver's totally stationing Negreanu.
You mean like a calling station?
Exactly.
4 clubs on the river, Seaver checks.
That's a tough card for Seaver to be afraid of. Sick.
Daniel fires 36,000. Folds the winner.
Phew-wee! You had me staring. I had my favorite hand. You know what that is?
10-7?
No, the 10-7.
Oh, 10. I said
Exact
10.
suit.
I
Seven.
said 10-7.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry. 7 of diamonds and 10 of clubs specifically.
Having top pair is one thing. Knowing exactly where you stand is another. This time, Daniel doesn't just bet. He names his opponent's hand before they even show it.
Take whatever you want. I just don't fold. It's so boring to fold. So I decided, no more fold.
What you have, Daniel, is top pair.
How many spades are there? 3? I'm gonna take a stab. Nope. I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna take a stab. That's not. Yeah. See what that does. 82. Give me one of these. Cool. My dad used to do this to me when I was younger. He gave me the nose when he'd stare at him. You're the guy who checked queens before in the 10 high flop, so now I'm scared.
Daniel should absolutely be betting this board.
He does, 9,600.
96? We have like jacks or queens or something like that? Is that what you have with a spade? That's what you have? Jacks or queens with a spade? Oh, I got it! He smiled, that's what he's got.
I'm smiling because you are talking.
Oh, I love to talk. I don't shut up.
Cool. Because you're Negreanu.
I'm a king.
Most players panic when facing an all-in preflop, but Daniel, he eliminates aces, kings, and queens instantly, as if he's seen his opponent's cards. What you're about to see is insane.
All in.
All in.
Berkey makes MJ's fold easy.
So what is it? How much more?
Just 52 on the dot.
52, and I've already put in 12-5. Doesn't have queens, I don't think.
What were you thinking about doing?
Kings, doesn't have aces, has ace-king, like, for sure. In one of those spots where it's just like, for sure he's got those 2 cards. Sure. And if he doesn't, I'll just look stupid. Here, if you got ace-king, you got ace-king.
Twice?
Sure. You have ace-king? Yeah. It's so weird how, like, you can just know for sure, right?
In this hand, Daniel's superpowers come from his nose. He's got a strong smell of Sean's set.
I got a good hand. What, you think I just called 19,000 or nothing? I got a good hand.
You asked
I'm not going to tell you what I got,
though. I'm
not going to tell you what I got. But I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm going to check in the dark. Pow!
3 queens for Sean Shiki.
Check.
They won't let us play props this year.
Both players check.
That's good.
For you.
Check from Daniel. 25.
You got 3 queens over there?
25,000.
Daniel immediately said you have 3 queens.
Smell like 3 queens.
It's one thing to make the right read. It's another to say it out loud while your opponent is still deciding. As Torelli debates his move, Daniel delivers the final dagger.
Daniel's now put in 25% of his stack with no pair and no draw. He's going to need more runners than the New York Marathon. Don't let the name fool you. Even the pros do this sometimes. That's when you bet into the last aggressor.
Blue chips.
Torelli's bound to be a little confused by this.
Daniel's bet 30% of his remaining chips. Is the ace of diamonds giving Daniel 2 pair? And he moves all in. We could be about to lose Daniel Negreanu.
The sick part is he thinks he's value betting.
67. 7,075.
This wasn't a great card for Torelli either.
Got ace, queen of hearts or something?
This will be an awful line for a bluff, so Alec might think he's beat here.
It's like I want to fold.
Really?
You have a what? He had fives?
Ding!
And he lays it down!
Time and time again, Daniel Negreanu has shown that poker isn't just a game of cards, it's a game of minds. His ability to read opponents is almost supernatural, but what happens when the game isn't fair? Some players don't rely on instincts, they rely on cheating. Click here to see the biggest poker cheaters who got caught.